What's up, YouTubers? Sadie's1945 posting a video reply on Mac versus PC. Microsoft is dying. Now, going off the assumption that this user probably doesn't fully understand that actually, from the concept, Apple is a dying company. Think about it. Apple decided to go Intel. Many reasons why Apple went Intel. Well, for one, PowerPC architecture, one, was very difficult to program. Two, had heating problems. Three, IBM could not meet the demand of what Apple was requesting. This is a precursor to Apple's indication that they're possibly going to stop selling hardware in the near future and more or less just start selling their operating system more or less like Microsoft does.
It's really good to be here tonight in Philadelphia. I was walking around the street today, and this big policeman came up to me, and he said to me, "Excuse me, is your name Ray Davies?" Hey! And I said, "What's your name?" And he said, "Hello, hello." I met a girl called Lola, took her back to my place, feeling guilty, feeling scared, hitting cameras everywhere. Stop! Hold on! Are you gonna stay in control? Is anybody here paranoid?
He likes to complain about how Vista sucks and how Microsoft products suck, and basically the context that anything that Microsoft is affiliated with, it doesn't work, it's shitty. Well, yes, 90% of the PC users and 99% of the market share agrees that Microsoft must suck. That's why they're still using it. There's only a small percentage of Mac users out there. I can go off a couple of reasons why I think Mac sucks. Their API, Application Programming Interface, that's basically the core of the operating system and how you write applications. Their Quartz API, their AppleScript API, their GTK script API, one, very difficult to write for. Very complex to write for. That's why you don't see many applications floating around out there. The time to demand a market share for just the sheer factor of getting an application out to the market, to the people, is very long compared to Microsoft's API, Win32, ported through C++, Pascal, Java, Eiffel. Many programming languages can be directly ported over to Win32. Not to mention the catch-all API is DirectX. DirectX is what caught the market share for gaming. Nothing can compare to that right now. OpenGL, maybe. Quartz, sure, Quartz is good. I haven't figured out what it's good for. I think it's shitty, it's useless. Microsoft products, yeah, their OS has stability problems. Think about it this way. Their APIs are built on backwards compatibility. In fact, if you do a little engineering, you can get Windows 1 applications to actually run on Vista for the most part. I looked at some of the software. I'm part of the MSDN, Microsoft System Developer Network, and I looked at some of the ports for the release of Vista, and you'd be surprised on how dirty it is to get Win32 applications to work. Even from 2000 apps to make it work on Vista, the core is still the same. The core hasn't changed. It's an NT kernel. Apple's kernel Mach is a Unix core, which was actually stolen from Xerox. Both Apple and Microsoft at the time stole from Xerox. They raped the shit out of them. So those Apple nubs that say that Mac is an innovation, more or less it's the product of stolen software. That's all it really is. Kind of pisses me off that all the Mac users don't really know what they're talking about. You can mention Mach to them and they'll sit there and stare at you like they're fucking idiots. I believe Mach or Apple users are mostly uninformed, unendowed, and have no idea that you can do the same thing on a Windows PC that you can do on a Mac PC. In fact, most of the software out there for Windows is freeware. You have to be risky, obviously, of viruses. That's part of the OS's problem. But why pay twice as much for the same hardware because they switched to Intel architecture? When you can go out and buy something that's half the price with the same speed and gaming capabilities. You can turn your computer into a media library, a server. You can do that with Mac, but everything seems to be money ordering around on Mac. They don't care about the end user. They actually seem to more or less do not listen to what the user wants. Sure, they make pretty cases and they make stuff that looks nice. That's how they attract their users, like the iPod. There's plenty of other media players out there that have more functionality. Like the Creative Zune, for example, has way more functionality than the iPod, but they sell it for a marked up price. Apple only cares about money. More or less, I believe they're going to stop developing hardware. They already did. It's a testament. They now use Intel architecture, and the rest is basically all PC-based architecture. They switch over to the PC market, which means right now they're just developing software. Microsoft Windows has a lot of bumps and roads, but it has a large user base, and that's what keeps the person happy. The user wants applications. Microsoft had it from the start. They won the victory from the start. They got even from DOS. Even though it was a very arbitrary operating system, they still kept the user because applications were plenty. Programmers love programming for DOS. They love programming for Windows. It's easy to program for. Just like to see any rebuttal on this one. I think Mac sucks, personally. It's highly overpriced, highly overrated. Yeah, granted, I actually do own a Mac PowerBook. I give credit where credit is due. The operating system is ridiculously stable, but when it crashes hard. Kernel panic, anybody? If anyone is actually a Mac user, there's so many bugs in their operating system. It isn't funny. In fact, part of security test bed that I was doing is Mac vulnerabilities versus Windows vulnerabilities. Mac OS X.
Dude, did you just call it OS X? Dude, are you a fucking idiot?
10.4 has more vulnerabilities than Windows Vista does. More reported vulnerabilities and targets. It's a Unix core. There's plenty of rootkits out there that actually can target Mac OS X. It's just...
Dude, did you just call it OS X? Dude, are you a fucking idiot?
Because of the user base, who wants to target a Mac? No one really uses Mac. Why do you want to target Mac with advertisements, spam, and viruses when nobody uses it? I mean, it only has maybe less than 10% of the market share. At least the OS part. My rebuttal is fuck Mac users. Most of them are idiots. The very few I've met that you can talk to on a level of software development, good luck on that. The useless snubs, basically, fuck Mac.
Dude, are you a fucking idiot?